fantastic break from Michael.
Break that is to start.
Wow.
I think it would have been fun if he didn't have his cue here and they would have to pass the cue between them. As well as playing the Scotch, they hand the cue to each other as they're playing along as well.
Old school pub
Old
rule.
school, yeah, absolutely.
Love that.
Just pull a racker out and away you go. Well, like we saw a little bit earlier on tonight as well, brilliant break, but the layout isn't brilliant off the back of it. Although it looks like he can get to the yellow over the pocket and it could open everything up on one shot. Or not.
Yeah, that couldn't have gone worse, really. Aside from missing it, it's about as badly as it could have gone from actually making the shot.
Open up reds instead of the yellows. Glancing blow rather than more of what they wanted. This might clip in, so a second opportunity to do it. Yeah, very good. I wasn't sure that was available. Definitely helped. Can he dig this, or does he have to swing it two? Because the red's in play if he has to swing it two. Slight deceleration from Joe. Didn't quite. He knew he had to nip it. He couldn't play it with pace because it throws out wide before it grips, but didn't get the bite on the ball. So obviously can pot the one by the 8 ball. You can't get on the yellow at the bottom, so this is a big shot.
Huge shot. And how well played is it from Michael Hope? That is superbly executed.
This isn't too bad. It's very off angle, but it's so off angle it can easily get the cue ball above the 8 ball. You could dig it and try and get back underneath, but you could play bottom left rather than top right. Or left center. Beautiful shot.
Yeah, I love that. It's a great choice. Makes the 8 ball basically unmissable for a player of Michael's level. In goes the 8. A very impressive start from the London pairing, who, considering their first shot went very, very badly, well, I think we're about to get our answer. Would you believe it? There's the Joe Prince cue right on, well, not quite right on time.
Yeah, so the question is, whose cue was he using? The 3 or 4 shots. Maybe that's why he didn't quite get the bite on the ball when he was trying to grip it. He's getting himself ready pretty quickly here as though he's about to play the next frame, but I'm surprised they're not putting Michael out first because they're on the right-hand side of the arena. I think they would benefit here from Michael playing this next frame.
It will be Phil the Farmer out first on the left-hand side. Joe's just checking who's playing next. I think he was just so overwhelmed at getting his cue, he was just happy to get it out. It will be Michael playing the singles frame, I can tell you, as Phil breaks us off. That's brutally unlucky and off the cut break for Phil the Farmer. I mean, that's incredible, really.
Yeah, and has it just opened up as an okay chance at the bottom of the table? As we see the in-off again. The yellows, if but one right at the bottom of the table goes comfy, then the yellows aren't too bad here, because you can get on the one on the left-hand side, but you might have to either get on the one on the left-hand side and then play the plant, or get rid of the one over bottom right first. I think the plant's definitely a doable shot. It's decision-making here. Do you want to move the red, or do you want to pot it clean? Yeah, I think potting it clean was the way there, because if you move the red, you actually could end up blocking off the yellow at the bottom with no guarantee of making it better.
Yeah, and I think cue ball in hand played a massive part there, because obviously he can pick his angle. So if he couldn't get straight on it, for example, you might have to play it off the red, but it was nice for him to have the option.
But what it does mean is that you're likely to do what he's going to do, which is to clear the ones in the open first and then get on the hardest 3 balls. Because when you play the plant, you're going to be on the plant, the ball you're playing, and then you don't have a good ball to go into the middle of the table because the red's blocking it. So he's getting rid of these ones first. So all the pressure is going to be on the plant, although he's left a lot more angle here than I thought he would. He's going to use the red to hold, but this shot can go wrong.
When he was gun barrel straight on the last yellow, I think he would have loved to have been closer.
Still thought he could pinch the pocket enough to be better on it than this, but he's accepted being on the cushion, and he's played that well because he's the right, it just came down a turn, which definitely helps, so you're not worried about going low here, which you could have done if it stayed high. Oh, there you go, that made it look a lot, well, he's actually played it poorly, but he's very thin on this now. It was a lot cleaner to make that plant. I actually thought that the red was in the way, but it wasn't at all. That's actually, for a player at Michael's level, is actually quite a poor shot.
Yeah, I mean, this is mighty thin. Shave a cone to paint off this. Doubles it instead.
Yeah, there was not much room for the double. Michael will be so disappointed, because when you saw that camera angle right behind the plant, I don't think you could be much better. Other than being an inch off the cushion, I don't think you could be better on that plant. And if he played that shot 10 times, I'd be surprised if it went wrong once. And it's gone wrong on this occasion. So I think he'll be very, very disappointed. Phil needs to play one good positional shot to make this easy. Because the yellow and 8 will block bottom left-hand corner, he's got to deal with these 3 at the top, and then the one shot coming down the table, he needs to get short side on one of those 2 reds. And once he's done that, he should be out. Or he could play on the one at the bottom to get on the one in the left centre to get on the one bottom right. But the shot coming down the table is critical. He got that one all wrong. So wanting to be perfect, to come down the table with control, he's got it completely wrong, and he's left himself next to no shot. That's a major surprise for Phil. It's a very easy hit, but what are you going to do with it off the bottom cushion? That's what he's looking. He's trying to find anything but playing it off the bottom cushion here. Have to really get some bite on this just to sort of bend it off the cushion. Oh, too much. Wow.
That's a really good effort.
Was that a foul? He hit the cushion first. Watch the bite. Look at that grip. Yeah, it's fine. He hit the bottom cushion after contact, so no problem with giving away the foul. But he got more grip on that than I thought he could. That was incredible, that arc.
I mean, this cloth just latches on like Velcro, doesn't it?
So you're playing that shot into the cushion with loads of screw, and the spin starts to take effect after it's hit the cushion, and then it creates like a curve. It's a lovely trick shot to play, but when he's that low, I just didn't think that shot was going to be on for him.
Well, we're going to get a pretty big edition of the Phil Harrison headshake here.
Yeah, because he must have been playing on the bottom right here, to bottom right corner. So he must be, he's nowhere near where he was planning to be. Or he was playing straight on the one he's nearest to right centre, then screw back and do that. But he's absolutely nowhere near.
Pretty good snooker again from Phil, who's not afraid to go into the weeds with absolutely anybody in the world on an English 8-ball table. There's probably not many folks on earth who have Phil's command of the small cue ball.
Michael will be happy with that.
Oh yeah, he will.
That could have been a lot worse. Phil, once he'd played the snooker there, he's thinking, well, both my reds are now in the open. I should get a chance to win the frame unless Michael comes up with a miracle shot. And Michael's got second prize here by leaving it awkward enough that Phil's going to have to find another shot. Natural path of the cue ball here is an interesting one for me, because the clip back on the red to bottom left isn't terrible. But where's the cue ball heading? Looks like it's going side cushion, bottom cushion, and then going on a bad path if you overhit it. There's the bad path. The nudge is good, though. The nudge is brilliant.
Might just have to do a little bit of work with the cue ball. Just to get this super high, you can really hold it. That's nice. Well, he may have been thinner on that than he eventually was. Simple 8-ball then for the farmer, and that is 1-1. He played with his food a little bit there, did Phil, but crucially, he's got the one next to his partnership's name.
The big factor there is the mistakes he made were all cue ball related and not potting related. If you have a bad night and you start missing balls, you've got no control afterwards unless you get lucky with a lead. Phil was struggling with his cue ball, but he always left the table with his opponent in a tough spot. So still was able to control the frame. But Michael will be disappointed, especially after winning the opening frame, because that plant was not that difficult for him, and that's 2-0 right there, and then you're handing it over to your pro partner who's going to be playing 3 straight frames.
With his own cue. Which might make a difference for Joe Prince.
Yellows aren't brilliant, but nor are reds. Now, you could open up the 8 ball on the first shot, but looks like it would tie up with the red. And you still got a bad yellow down the table. Interesting decisions to make here. Yeah, I don't like the finish on yellows, and nor does Joe. I know reds look worse, but I think it's just the problems that need to be solved on reds aren't actually that bad. They just look worse, especially if the 8 ball goes. If the 8 ball goes top left,
yeah,
you can see a finish. You can see an out because you can get on that one on the right-hand side as your last ball to get on the 8 ball.
This might be his biggest shot in the visit. Can he time this one?
It's okay, though. It's just if he wants to leave the red on the right-hand side, I mean, this one's very thin, but you're on it. And all you can do is let the cue ball come twice across the table and be on one of the balls up the table. But if he wants to leave the red on the right-hand side as his last ball, then what ball's he using to get there? That was tough. That was tough.
But he does know that yellows are bang up against it. Tough finish on yellows here for Cam Tolley.
The difference between the chance that Joe had on yellows and Cam is that the yellow on the left-hand side now goes. And also, he can play into the 8 ball from here, potentially. If he was trying to, he's not got particularly close. Maybe he wasn't. But I was thinking if you go into the 8 ball there, you're knocking the yellow up towards the pocket. If you've got full ball on the 8 ball stays where it is, yellow's over a pocket, and you're on a 1 left centre. And then you think the clearance is on. The problem with playing off this ball is you're knocking the 8 ball towards the red where it's not likely to be on.
Yeah, this is the big shot in the visit for Cam. Disaster.
Yeah. If he wasn't trying to go into the 8 ball first shot, why wasn't he trying to go into the 8 ball first shot? Would be my question.
Looked like that was always his plan. Almost, he'd worked out that yellow was his way of doing it and played to get nice on that yellow to play that shot, but I can see your point.
Yeah, but he had to move it so far because the 8 ball's going into the red, or if he flicked the yellow like he did there, it's gone horribly wrong.
Hey, look, I'm just asking questions.
Yeah, if he gets the first shot right and it's a full ball cannon, then he's essentially given himself a wide open look at winning the frame. If you then give Cam that layout, I'd back Cam to make that layout 9.5 times out of 10, if not more. Cam's a former professional, was a professional for a couple of years here with Ultimate Pool, and very, very high quality player. So you'd expect him to mop up an open table. Oh no!
Yeah, no being the operative word. Well, I feel like I've not seen one of those in a very, very long time.
Yeah, sort of spun around the back of the pocket. That was in all day.
You used to see those sort of semi-regularly on the on the older setups.
For a while, wasn't there? Yeah. First time I've seen it, actually. Yeah,
I don't think I've seen one.
2 years, I reckon.
Yeah, it looked good to go, that from Cam, and pretty tough outcome for him because Joe Prince is in business here.
May have just left himself just the tiniest bit too much angle here. This now needs to be hit well. It's hit well. But if the plan was to land on the red at the bottom to get on the one at the top, because that's the easiest connection to the 8 ball, then he's far too far across the table. So he's now going to take the one on the side cushion, which is looks like it was exactly what he was playing for. Actually landed a little bit too good on it, isn't it? Too straight, so he's going to have to play the next one off the cushion, but won't have to do anything with the cue ball, so it's all good.
Yeah, the only way that shot could go wrong was if he had to do anything with the cue ball. If he's just rolling it up the rail, it's fairly routine. Here comes 2-1 for Joe Prince and Michael Hope. In it flies. Not been the perfect start by any chalk for Phil Harrison and Cameron Tolley as Joe Prince celebrates with his new cue. I say new cue, his old cue, his current cue, but it's new to him tonight. These two know each other very, very well. Club mates down at Spots and Stripes at down in Red Hill.
Yeah, Michael's at the Red Hill one. Joe actually spends most of his time at the one in central London. 2 good clubs down there.
Very much part of the Spots and Stripes stable of top players they've got down in the capital. Is that going to be dry? No, it isn't. Okay, then Scotch frame, Phil Harrison and Cam Tolley. Buckle in, 3.5 minutes left to play. 15-second shot clock.
Missed that Cam Tolley cut break. It's such a big weapon that he's got. Used to seeing that on repeat in the Pro Series. Possibly just come a little bit too far up the table. Straight in on the one in the middle would have been better, but I think Phil can hold here. Needs a good angle on the next thread though, and gets it. So he was just straight enough to be able to do that. Should be fairly easy now. Just got to be careful not to leave yourself a slightly awkward angle on the last ball to get on the 8 ball. Just any sort of angle will do.
Fine. Very tidy. Break, leave, and finish so far.
Has Phil just left it that slightly awkward, or is this okay to punch out?
He's got a turn. I think Cam would have preferred to have been slightly less straight, but he has got a turn here. Take him towards the 8 ball.
Absolutely okay. Bit of a stretch for Phil over the yellows. Got to be careful here. Referee will be on high alert.
Well, in goes the 8 ball. 2-2. 2 minutes left to play. It's Desmond in the Ultimate Pool Pairs Cup.
There's 2 other very good partnerships in the group tonight. I know they didn't show their best in that first match, but you get the feeling that this next 2 minutes are going to be quite big on the destination of tonight's group. I said before this match, you have these 2 as Phil and Cam are the group favourites. If anyone was going to upset them tonight, then I think Joe and Michael were highly likely to be the pair. Will they get the opportunity to do that in the first match? It's their break, so nothing that Phil and Cam can do unless they get to the table. And it will be Joe and Phil Harrison in the singles frame. Two highest ranked players on show tonight in this one. it's not a good layout. Joe will get the chance, but it's not good. Can you try and work this one out in 2 minutes? I think the draw's looking favourite right now, unless Joe gets deep in a finish and gives Phil 45 seconds. Don't like the finish here at all. 3 bad yellows and 1 on the cushion.
Can he take it apart while not giving Phil a go? Can he manage the risk? That's not bad.
That helps. Do you play the double now on the next one and a little nudge into the red? And then all the yellows are on. You've got a safety net with the reds by on the left-hand side. They don't go anywhere. This shot could open it all up. Oh, he's got the double, not landed on a thing.
Oh, that's so tough.
I thought he was going to sort of play it more of a stun shot on it rather than the roll.
He's got the gap.
Oh, if he's got the gap, then it's fantastic. Oh, he has.
Oh, hello. Hold on to your hats.
That's not bad either. That's not bad either. I think 50 seconds. The clock isn't really a problem here.
He's had so much experience of managing the match clock in all his shootouts that he's played over in the USA. He's had a couple of big moments at the end. 3 shots away. And it's just about holding yourself together here because he is perfect. This was a fabulous, fabulous visit so far. It was a really tough chance. Joe Prince here, 2 shots away from beating the buzzer and handing himself and Michael Hope a win.
Needs to make it a buzzer beater. Will he have the awareness here? He needs to make sure, because he will not want to give Cam Tolley a chance with his cut break.
In it goes, and I think there's 2 seconds left, so there will be a break. Joe couldn't quite find the perfect finish, which would have been to ice the match there, but he has done 99% of the job.
Yeah, it's very difficult for me to sit here and be critical, because that was one of the best finishes we've seen in the whole competition. That was absolutely world class, the way he picked that apart. That was a really, really tough layout. Forget about the match situation. But once he got there, he just rushed the last 2 shots. Once he got the one up the cushion, he stopped the cue ball dead. Just let the cue ball run 2 rolls and you've won the match. It will be on him if the 8 ball goes in, and that's incredibly harsh because of the finish he's just made. But Cam has a great cut break.
He does. Can he get the 8 ball moving? Golden break will tie it. 8 ball is moving. It's going to stay up. And that is that. Joe Prince with a brilliant finish to win the match for his duo. And given that he started the game without his own cue, he has had quite the finish.